Hey, what's up? It is obviously another crazy, hectic day where I'm running a little late. What is everybody doing? Um, Sorry, I'm trying to find something to talk about because I got Greg Kinn coming up, and since he passed away, there's not really any Greg Kinn news. So I got to find something that makes sense to talk about coming out of the Greg Kinn breakup song. And I don't know, are there good breakups happening, or is there anything like local happening that makes sense? Like, this is what goes through my head on the air, trying to figure out what to say. Uh, I'm going to talk about the Kerry King show last night and about the Exodus announcement yesterday. But I kind of want to wait until more people turn up on account of I just don't want to repeat myself because that seems to be a thing that happens pretty frequently. And I'm not mad because I get it. I'm always just popping up here like randomly. So I don't expect y'all to be waiting on me. But just rather than saying everything multiple times, I'm going to see if I can talk to you about other things until people start asking about the shows. Let's see. Somebody got arrested. I'm looking at the local news. Shelves flop, Walgreens, local shelves flop, locked shelves flop. Oh, you know how the Walgreens thing, oh, that just bugged me. Remember Walgreens? They were like, "With theft is too high in San Francisco, we're closing stores." But the stores they closed were not in high theft areas, but they were in high competition areas. Well, now Walgreens is closing stores again, but at least they've been smart enough not to say it's because of theft. Now they're saying the locked shelves were a flop because every time you went to a Walgreens, you had to get somebody to unlock every single thing that you wanted to buy, and it was just stupid. I mean, at that point, Walgreens really should have gone to some kind of app purchase where people just made a list of what they wanted, and then somebody fulfilled the list, and then you came over to buy all the stuff. But instead, they locked everything up and made it labor intensive and like customer service unfriendly. And so they're still like snidely blaming it on loss prevention, but really it's just their own poor policies because there are still tons of stores out there that are open in San Francisco selling this stuff and doing just fine. Walgreens just, I think they're owned by red staters or something because they always seem to want to be like following that San Francisco doom scroll. Oh, they found decomposing remains on a beach. Yikes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that Oakland mayor that got served. It looks like she has criminal charges pending. But none of that sounds good on the radio, does it? Bob Euchre died, but that just sounds sad. And it's not local. It's got nothing to do with Greg Kinn. I guess I don't have to talk about something that is local. Oh, you know what? When you can't think of something to say, ask people to donate because the LA fires are still a nightmare. And I did just in my last break talk about Tommy Lee getting a little snippy with people about the fires. 1077 The Bone and the Greg Kinn Band. Oh, wait, hold on. It's the Greg Kinn Band on the Rock of the... No, let's say this. It's the Bay Area's own Greg Kinn Band on the Rock of the Bay. I'm Nikki Blakk, and here in Northern California, we know more than most what it's like to have crazy wildfires. And that is why 1077thebone.com has a link for you to help donate to the people in LA who are suffering from the wildfires right now. Those wildfires are still burning and people are still losing their homes, and tens of thousands of people are still under evacuation order. So if you're able to help out, that would be amazing. Also, another way that you can help is by adopting a pet, because all of the animal shelters in the Los Angeles area have had to be emptied out of pets that need to be adopted so that they can be filled with pets who are lost and found during the fires. So if you were thinking about adopting, now is the perfect time. All right, there we go. Now I can concentrate. How much time do I have? Not a ton. Okay. Let me make sure this is turned down. I'm also dying of thirst, and I haven't filled up my water bottle. Oh, I have no chair either. 1 second. Okay. Phew. Hi, Janet. You watched the NF movie I was talking about. NF. A million things have happened between Monday. Was it Monday the last? Whatever the last time I talked to you was, a million things have happened, and I don't know which movie you were talking about, and I don't know what NF stands for. So just give me that context so that I can figure it out. Hey, Kartik. Hi, Ray. I'm hectic. Hi, Tim. Dan, yeah, David Lynch died and Bob Uecker died. I'm more upset about Bob Uecker than David Lynch because David Lynch smoked himself into an early grave. And also, I've heard some unsavory things about him and teenage girls. Patrick, Carrie King was awesome. Yeah, they were. That whole show kicked ass. I had a blast. Hey, Miguel, how you doing? Tommy Lee. I know, dude. Tommy Lee and his tone deaf shit. Karen, I could talk about the cutie Margot Zagata. Oh, the Niagara Falls movie. Oh, yeah, Janet, I was never going to get that. Yeah, how did you like it? Was it good or was it like, eh? It wasn't bad, right? It wasn't a bad movie. It was worthwhile. But also it had all that Niagara Falls stuff in it. And I was like, I had no idea about any of this for Niagara Falls. I thought Niagara Falls was literally like a waterfall and honeymoon suites. That was it. And people going over in a barrel. Hey, Mark. No kung fu. And you'll notice there was no kung fu last night. So let's see where to start. I am so tired and just so out of it. Carrie King was amazing last night. And I was super pissed today because I made time in my schedule to interview Cam Pipes from 3 Inches of Blood, and because they're playing at the Regency, and I'm trying to like help boost the metal scene as best I can. And they're going to be at the Regency on January 25th. And bro was a no-show this morning. Like, I literally left Carrie King early last night with a pile of people. I had 0 drinks last night because I knew that I needed to be like sharp-ish, as sharp as I can be, because let's face it. And I got no notice, right? And I was dragging this morning, even though I didn't drink. I don't know what happened, but I just woke up. I just wake up every day feeling like death. So I woke up with all the hangover for none of the drinks and felt awful, but like dragged it up and got it together and did the makeup and the hair. So normally in the morning, I walk on the treadmill with no makeup and no hair. And then I go do hair and makeup right before I drive in. But I had to give up that time so that I could do hair and makeup and then interview this guy. But also I needed to do my research, which I hadn't done yet. And so I was sitting there like doing the research. Plus I'm getting all my regular like texts and emails that I'm answering in the morning while I'm like doing the makeup and the hair and the blah, blah, blah. And then I got it all done. This is how you knew it was going to go sideways, right? I got it all done. I was like, okay. It sucked that I had to leave early last night because there was a whole after show and a bunch of people, and I really did not get enough time to talk to everybody at all. And I was like, but it's all worth it because here I am, 5 minutes to interview time, logged in, ready to go. And then I'm like, hello? And I had a friend texting me, so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can text you until Cam taps in. Still nothing. And I'm like, okay. Like 10 or 15 minutes after the interview was supposed to start, that's when I get an email from the publicist who BT Dubs has my cell phone number because I gave it to them in the email as a backup. And it's like, I just got a text from him that he's been held up at work. He can't make it. We need to reschedule. And I'm just like, dude. Now, in his defense, apparently he works for the Canadian Post Office as a day job because let's face it, metal is a hustle and they were on strike for a long time and they all just got called back. And so everything is kind of crazy. But still, bro could have texted. Everybody could have, would have been nice. That's all I'm saying. At any rate, we'll see if I have time to reschedule because right now I have way too many things happening. In fact, Monday's a holiday. Yes. But what that means is that we have to do a shit ton more work ahead of the holiday because that's how holidays work now, right? You don't just get a holiday. No, you have to get all the work done. Then you can have the holiday. A holiday for us is just basically doing everything in advance so that the holiday can happen. Which is still better than, having to be there. Fair enough, right? So, the movie, the movie was kind of cheesy, like the way they like led you by the nose to the plot line and everything, and it was all right. It wasn't bad, but yeah. I was busy like doing stuff around the house. I was like meal prepping while I was watching it, so I wasn't like super concerned that it wasn't the greatest. But yeah. Hey Tammy, what's up, sweetheart? Mwah. Where are you now? Are you still in like whatever that Midwestern state is that's right next to Nebraska or something like that? Or are you in Nebraska and right next to like Idaho or some, I don't know, honey. Those flyover states are flyover for a reason. I love you, but you got to come to California. Dan, is anyone nervous over TikTok? I hate TikTok. For me personally, I couldn't care less if TikTok goes away. It would be one less thing for me to worry about. However, I do recognize that there are a lot of people out there dependent on TikTok, making a living on TikTok, or supporting their living on TikTok, or just really enjoying TikTok. And I get that. And I'm interested to see how it plays out, honestly, because I think, like I said before, who gives a shit if a Chinese company can access you through TikTok when the Chinese companies are literally already hacking our infrastructure, our privately owned infrastructure, and our publicly owned treasury? Like, China's already in there. Do you think they're going to give a shit about, Joe Blow's TikTok account? Nope. And then honestly, hi, Glenn, welcome. Glenn, just FYI, we've got a Twitch user, you guys. So the live stream goes out to 3 platforms, right? It's on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. But no one is ever on Twitch, which is super weird to me, but whatever. So I'll be talking to people, but I'll read the comments out loud so that you know what they are. But I know it seems to you like nobody's here, but they're all over there on other platforms. But I keep going to Twitch just in case people want to like pop in. So here's the thing with TikTok. It's like, who gives a shit? Like this whole, it's basically, honestly, Meta is the one is the one with the big advantage at TikTok, right? And Mark Zuckerberg is, nose up Trump's ass so far. He can taste what he had for dinner. And Mark Zuckerberg and Meta are going to benefit the most if TikTok finally does get banned. Now, the grounds for banning TikTok don't hold water. They do not survive scrutiny because, like I said, China being able to access people's TikToks or people's phone through their TikTok accounts or whatever, where's the threat there? And also, if that's the threat, why aren't we also holding all of our social media companies to account like that? Europe does. Europe has really stringent privacy laws that Meta has to follow that they don't have, that we don't have, which is weird. But the true danger in TikTok has nothing to do with China getting into our data and everything to do with the way the algorithm feeds people propaganda. which frankly, shutting down TikTok isn't going to change because Meta is also a propaganda machine. So the only difference is that Meta is feeding you Trump's propaganda, whereas TikTok is feeding you China's propaganda. And then you've got Twitter feeding you Russia's propaganda. So anyway, I'm just going to watch it play out and see what happens. History will tell us, who the villain was in that story, but I think it's definitely going to be Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Donald Trump. And, everyone that Trump appointed to the Supreme Court. Most corporations and a little bit of capitalism in general. Oh, thanks, Phil. If I know if I'm reading that right. Good night, right? Yeah, it was a good night. Dan, I looked so scary for what? Tammy girl, I'm not a morning person, never have been, never will be. I am, however, a white Russian person. And I was before the movie came out. Phil, you think TikTok mysteriously uploaded gigabytes from your phone when not in use? No, it didn't. Glenn, do I stream on a daily basis or do I have a specific schedule? I try really hard, Glenn. I try so hard to have a schedule, dude. But I have managed to mostly get on here like sometime in the 5 o'clock hour through sometime in the 6 o'clock hour. Is that a schedule? But I am live on the air at 1077 The Bone FM in San Francisco, 1077thebone.com, or on the 1077 The Bone app from 2 to 7 every day. And I try to get as much stuff as I can done so that I have some time to like sit here, hang out, and chat. And then I do my shift. I still do the radio here, but I do other things ahead of time to try and catch up so that I'm just focusing on like this and the radio. That really didn't make any sense, did it? In theory, 5-ish to 6-ish is the best I can do right now. I try so hard and I fail miserably to be punctual about anything. John, I don't know what your test is about. Dan, you find TikTok to be a headache? I agree with you completely. Hi, Bob. How are you? You don't have TikTok either? How's things in Napa on the Vine? Dude, we have got to go surfing. When you find like a small day, will you let me know? Right now I can only do weekends. But soon I may have a weekday option, depending on how things go with the work from home issues. John, you've been restricted from commenting and posting, but you guess that doesn't apply here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about your meta restrictions, bro, because that's on you. But as I've said, I am also streaming on Twitch and YouTube, so you could go there and see what happens. Yes, Janet, we can talk about Exodus. Let's see. Is there anything else I need to pop off about between then and now? Phil, the Chinese alternative Red Note is the most hilariously communist sounding app name ever. Oh, yeah, I don't want a new app. I don't want Blue Sky or Red Note or whatever the... Dude, I'm not doing threads. I ain't doing none of it. Nope. And hello from Brazil. Tammy, you're having a white Russian now? My girl. Dan, routines? I don't know what routines are. Tammy, you're in Iowa? Yes, you can get me in Iowa. You can download the Bone app at 1077 The Bone. Go to the App Store, 1077 The Bone. Don't just put The Bone because that's a different thing. But if you go to the App Store and do 107.7 The Bone, there is an app and you can listen to me on it. Or you can go to 1077thebone.com and listen live online. So, bizatch. Tammy and I used to be roommates in 94. Bob, yes, it's too cold right now. You're right. I just know that if I don't keep nagging myself via nagging others, it won't happen. So I just have to keep saying it out loud to like manifest it. 5'4" and booties. I have booties and gloves and a 5'4" and a hood, but I don't like the hood. But I might have to try the hood because it is cold. Dan, I can stream on Instagram, but it is it's a whole separate process. It can't be done super easy on this little StreamYard platform that I have, where it just like very easily does the streaming for me and then collates all of the comments in one place. I would have to do it on a separate browser or separate whole thing. And it's like, maybe one day I will get that together. Okay, Kartik, I mentioned the postal strike in Canada. Yeah, it went on for a fair bit and it was pretty bad, including for the employees. Talks failed for a bit and it meant suspension of pay and health insurance for employees. Glad it's over. Yeah, so Kartik, that's why I'm sympathetic to Cam Pipes for missing our interview this morning and wanting to reschedule. I'm going to try to reschedule, but also I am just jammed with stuff right now. So I may or may not be able to do it. We'll see. Spring is coming, Bob, and I am ready for it. I'm not ready, like in any way, shape, or form, but I would still like for it to get here quickly. Tammy, you can't get me there in person. Oh, God, no, girl. I am not going to Iowa or Idaho or whatever state you said. Ever. No red states for this girl. If abortion is not legal in your state, you're not getting my tourist dollars. That's just a fact. I'm trying to be a NorCal surf chick, Bob. I'm trying, but I'm failing miserably. Hey, Steve. Tammy, -4 what? Minus what? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't compute. It was 50 the other day, though, and that was super cold for me. Steve, you haven't missed anything yet. You stopped in right on time. Okay, here we go. So I talked to Tom Hunting last night, and I was like, bro, everybody wants to know what happened with that. What is the deal? And first off, let me just say it was lovely of Tom Hunting and Gary Holt to come out last night to support Carrie King, because that's what friends do. And Tom is lovely. His wife, Ursula, is lovelier, and I adore them all. And Tom was like, he was just miserable on the road. And so basically, Zet parted ways with Exodus, and Dukes came back to Exodus for essentially the exact same reasons Zet parted ways with Exodus before. He just wasn't happy. He wasn't happy on the road. And the more unhappy he is on the road, the more unhappy everybody around him is on the road. And it just gets exacerbated, exponentially, because everybody is older and crankier and squished together in the touring situation. And I get it. I mean, look how hard it is to get people out on a weeknight. So imagine being Zet and going out for 3 weeks or 4 weeks at a time. If he's not happy doing it and they're not happy with him doing it because of just the situation that's making him unhappy, then absolutely. And, there were, I told Tom this last night. I go, listen, man, there were like 100 comments on my Facebook, and there was like 2 people who were like, no, fuck Exodus now. All right, whatever, dude. If that's you, that's you. You're the one missing out. But the vast majority of people really took it in stride. And if you think about Exodus in its 40-year history, right? It was like Bailoff. They booted Bailoff for Zet. Then Zet left. I don't know why that happened the first time. I think they imploded, right? They kind of just hiatused. And then when they reunited, it was with Bailoff. And then Bailoff died. And then it was Zet again. And then Zet left because he was unhappy touring again, and it was miserable. And then they got Dukes. And then I don't know exactly why they fired Dukes to get Zet back, but I think it had to do mostly with the same thing. I think Dukes was not happy on the road, and I think Zet expressed wanting to come back, and they were like, now's the time to make the switch then. Bring Zet back, and then, the cycle happens again. So Zet's unhappy on the road again. And I remember seeing them in London in 2015. And I was on the bus talking to Zet, and I said, dude, I don't understand. How could you come back to Exodus after like everything that you went through when you left Exodus? Like, you were so miserable. You hated it, right? And he was like, I'm fine now. And I was like, how can I argue with that? Okay. And he was fine for years, and he sounded great with the band, and the band was happy with him. So fucking excellent, and that was like 3rd and 4th of July in 2015, and Exodus was playing London on the 4th of July, which, as you know, as Americans, is a little kind of fuck you to England from the 1700s. It's us having just a little bit of a chip, a little bit of a 250-year-old chip. Wait, I can't do math. 21 minus 17 is 500-year-old chip. No, that's not it either. Fuck, my head hurts. I woke up with a headache today, even though I didn't drink last night. I think I'm just dehydrated. There's not enough hydration in the world for me. There's also not enough coffee, which could have something to do with the hydration problem. At any point, that is the scoop for what it's worth. Yeah, I actually read this does seem to be the thing that is working out for everybody, and it worked out fine last time, right? I mean, last time Zet left the band, Dukes joined the band. They put out some great albums. I thought it was a little weird that they did the re-record. Right? Didn't they re-recorded Bonded by Blood? I thought that was weird, but everything else was great. Atrocity and Shovelheaded Kill Machine are some of the best Exodus albums out there. They're heavy as fuck. You know why? Because Gary's still writing the music. And I think it's gonna be fine. Red, you hope that Zet starts doing his YouTube show again. Did he stop doing it? I didn't realize. Janet, you talked to Zetro on the Headbangers boat, and he really complained about touring for a long time. Yeah, I mean, the guy likes to be at home. What can you say? Touring is what Exodus has to do to make a living. And if those two things don't work, it's the same thing with that happened with Steve Perry and Journey, right? Steve Perry was like, I ain't touring no more. I can't handle that shit. He's like, I could do a handful of shows a year. And this is what Jonathan Cain told me this. I talked to him about it, I want to say in like 2010 or 12. I think it was 2010. We were doing this like charity event together where we were broadcasting from the roof of the Grand Hyatt, because that was a great idea. I don't know why somebody decided to do that, but whatever. So Jonathan Cain and I were like hanging out for like 2-3 days on the roof of the Grand Hyatt. And then after we would finish the broadcast, he and I would go grab a drink at the hotel bar. And that's when he told me that Steve just doesn't want to tour as much as they want to tour. And he was like, listen, I could make a little bit of money with Steve Perry as my singer, or I could make a shit ton of money with Arnel Pineda as my singer. Simple as that. Oh, thanks, Steve. You like the blue hair? Yeah, it's funny because I had time this morning to do makeup, but I didn't have time to do hair. So I just did like a little bit. I did like some spot curls on the hair and then was just like, all right, here we go. We're ready. Let's do this. Let's do this interview. We're doing the interview. And then I sat there waiting for dude to show up. Hi, Kevin. Dan, is Baskin Robbins going away? I don't know. I can't imagine how Baskin Robbins. I'm honestly, I'm surprised Baskin Robbins is still alive. But I'm glad that they are. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm glad they are. They're not my favorite ice cream. I never really got a lot of Baskin Robbins as a kid, and now that I'm in a place where I can't eat a lot of ice cream because I'm old and fat. I'm kidding. I'm not old and I'm not fat, but ice cream in general is not something that I can eat on the regular and still look this good. But I can eat ice cream. And when I do, I want that ice cream to be the best. So I'm going to spend $9 a pint and get the Jenny's or the, Strauss Dairy is one of my favorites ice creams. Oh my God. Strauss Dairy has a maple ice cream that, I'm not kidding you. If I buy it, I will eat the whole thing. once that pint gets just a little melty, and as you eat it, every bite is like a little bit solid and a little bit melty, I'll eat the whole fucking pint. Can't not. It's so good. So, you know, Baskin Robbins is a corporation. And if a corporation goes away, but a small business stays alive, I'm down for it. Kevin, Shovel-Headed Kill Machine was one of your favorites. It was badass, dude. Gary outdid himself on that album. If I remember correctly, Bo Staff slept on my couch while they recorded that album. I think it was that one. Was Bo Staff on that one? Bo Staff, because I live so close to the studio, and Paul was living in like not quite the South Bay, but like the south of the East Bay. It just became easier for him to crash on my couch while he was recording. Because the studio, like I said, was just so close to my house. So yeah, it was heavy. Zet or Dukes, Exodus is a great band with 3 great singers. Truth, Travis. Thank you. Thank you. And honestly, the metal community, as they've gotten older, have gotten more immature in a lot of ways. I have noticed, and I'm just going to come right out and just be like, I see you. Because I saw a lot of people at the Kerry King show last night, but the people that I didn't see, I saw more. And I have seen people on the internet being like, oh yeah, no, I couldn't make it. I was super busy. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You were busy being petty. And I still do not understand how this goes. You know, I know that there are people who have their grudges for whatever reasons. But also there were a lot of people that did not go to that show last night that don't have reasons for their grudges. And I see them. I see them. And those are the same people who expect everybody else to turn up at their shit and get butthurt when they don't. And I see them not being there last night. And I'm just like, okay. I still love you. You are all my family, but you make me a little crazy. Sometimes they make me a lot crazy. But mostly it's a little crazy. Let's see. Well, that's useless. "1077 The Bone and the Scorpions rocking you like a hurricane." I'm Nikki Blakk, and the Scorpions formed in 1965. They are celebrating their 60th anniversary this year and coming out with gems like this. In the 80s, you ordered a gram of cocaine like you ordered a beer. Doing cocaine was totally normal in those days. And I'm like, well, it wasn't that normal. Our engineer is going to get mad at me for taking that long in between breaks. Or not that long, sorry, for cutting it that close. Don't tell him. All right, let's see. Red, you're excited for the brutality Dukes brought? Yeah, samesies. Dude, Dukes was a beast on the mic in many ways, and I'm not mad at it. And honestly, I also was very surprised when Zet started singing Blacklist, which was a Dukes song, right? I mean, this is how you know that these guys are truly family. Like, the lack of ego it takes, right? You've seen how Sammy Hagar still gets pissy when he has to sing David Lee Roth songs, right? But you've got Zet singing Duke songs and Duke's singing Zet songs, and both of them singing Bailoff songs. So, you know, for all of the drama, I love that Exodus in the very end still is a kick-ass metal band from the Bay Area, and they're going to continue to be so. Dan Tillamook ice cream. I mean, not mad at it, but I'm not going for it. It's not my first choice. Kardik, you like Zetro as well as Dukes. You love Exodus. That's how it works, right? Kevin, Bo Stuff was on that album. I thought I remembered that correctly, but, you know, brain fog. Stevie, you love rum raisin ice cream. I've always heard about rum raisin ice cream, but I don't think I've ever had it. Rum raisin used to be the flavor that they always talked about on TV, right? In sitcoms, it was always rum raisin when people were talking about ice cream for some reason. I don't get, or Rocky Road. Rum raisin or Rocky Road. I guess they like the alliteration. Michelle, last night's show was amazing, right? Yeah, you loved all three bands, and Kerry King was everything you expected and more. Thank you, Michelle. They did kick some ass, right? I was like, at the end of the night, Mark was walking off stage, and I was right there, and I was like, when are you going to stop showing off? Because he was showing off last night. And you know what? Good on him, because he sounds amazing. I swear, he's like vocally at the top of his game. It's crazy. I love it. But also at one point, I remember Rob Halford telling me that he had an upper register of his voice that kind of went away for a while and then came back. He got older and like this whole upper register just came back. So the voice is a crazy instrument that just kind of happens in ways that we don't quite understand. Red, why be petty at all? We are old. We are old, and we have been around for each other for 4 decades now. Right? 85, 95, 05, 15, and 25. 4 decades. I have known these people. And my ability to give a shit is really thin right now. Janet, you're sad you're going to miss Kerry King when he comes there. Oh, God, yeah. I literally just booked a flight to Vegas because the show was that good last night. I'm like, I have to see them again. I really have to. Jacob, what was my favorite part of the concert last night? I can't have like just one favorite part. Everything was so great. You know, I saw people I haven't seen in years. I loved the show, and all the bands were in top form, just sounding great. Even with Tony Forrester blowing his voice out at the end of the set, they still sounded great. It was crazy. And it just, it was a combination of like loving the nostalgia, but also appreciating how all the new shit is killing it. Red, they're not coming to your area either. I'm telling you, I just booked a flight. Totally worth it. It was like $59 one way and $79 the other way on Southwest to do Vegas. So $130 round trip for Vegas. Why not? It's going to be awesome. Jacob, you were hoping to see bras or hipster thongs thrown on stage at the Rockstars? You are mistaken about the kind of music we are discussing here. That's like a Tom Jones show. Red, that's cool that they stayed at your place. No, not all of them, just Paul. No, like Lee Altus also lives very close to the studio, so he stayed at his place. I'm sure Gary drove in. I can't remember where Gary was living at the time. Probably Oakland. Anyway, yeah. No, only Paul stayed at my place. Everybody else had like an easier time of it, you know. Jacob, when the bass drops, so does your blood pressure. So you had fun. You see some Hell's Angels. You get to see the one and only Baby Huey, who you got to talk with before the concert started. Oh yeah, I talked to Baby Huey before the concert started too. I did not see any Hell's Angels, but I did not know that they were a sighting. It's like a bingo card. Jacob, you were looking through the crowd for couples who like to have sex at live concert events and get away with it? Again, you are at the wrong show, dude. Okay. Whatever, dude. Red, yes, that was very cool about doing Duke songs for it, and I think it was Zet's idea to do it as well. Cool. Dan, would I make my own ice cream? I make my own ice cream all the time, bro. I got an ice cream maker. I make an amazing Kahlua ice cream. Oh, and you know what else is really good? Persimmon ice cream. I make a killer persimmon ice cream. I know there's another one that I've made that was really good. What was it? I can't remember, but yeah. A friend of mine made a Whoppers ice cream with like malt, like the malt balls. We had that for Thanksgiving and it was amazing. Kardik, you still love Paul Bailoff? We all do. Kevin, chocolate peanut butter is the best ice cream, period. But you like the small business ice cream. Doesn't taste the same when it's big business. Oh my God, right? When you have like corporate ice cream, it's like it tastes waxy. It's weird. It has like a waxy, vague flavor. Like the flavor's not very strong. It's, yeah, I don't like it. Hi, Justine. You'll watch the replay? You'll have to because you are late. Later than me. And I'm always late. Red, did Paul use any of my furniture as drums? Well, you know, Paul was my roommate for a while too. So I'm sure he has, there's no drummer that sits still. And I'm sure Paul has drummed on a lot of my furniture in the past. But I don't have any of that furniture anymore. Maybe the barbecue grill. I think I still have the same grill. He's probably drummed on that grill. Justine, you caught Slow Ride? Oh, you were listening today early because I played Slow Ride like in the 2:00 hour. Aaron, your favorite ice cream in the world is what? You didn't answer that. You just said my favorite ice cream in the world. I don't understand. Dan, what would the thing be that would be challenging for me to make on my own? Sushi, all kinds of things. I don't know. I learned how to make an Indian curry, and that was very challenging, but I did it. Once I made an entire English roast dinner all by myself. Actually, more than once I have done that. That was very challenging because there are a lot of components and trying to get them all ready at the same time is difficult. There's a lot of things I don't know how to make, like tons. So anything challenging is challenging. Thai food. I don't know how to do Thai food very well. Did I get that? Hold on, I gotta write that down. Uh, 612. Okay. Oh, you saw it in this. You weren't listening. Oh, sorry you missed it, Justine. Kardik sushi is tough. Yeah. Fortunately, I Heart Teriyaki and Concord is the best sushi. So I usually just go out for it. Yeah, same for Indian food. Actually, I just texted my Indian food bestie. We used to have what we called the Indian food support group because we both had significant others that did not like Indian food. So we would get together with other people whose significant others didn't like Indian food and then go out for Indian food without them and be like, aha. Kevin, I should fly to Denver for the Carrie King show. Why? Why would I want to go to Denver when I could go to Las Vegas? The flight would cost twice as much and there'd be half as much to do. And then I'd probably have to get a hotel room because I don't know anybody in Denver except you, and I'm not staying at your place because we've never met. Totes going to Vegas, dude. Plus, already booked the flights. Well, I'm glad you had fun at the show, Jacob. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, we already talked about David Lynch. On the one hand, great filmmaker. On the other hand, I hear there are some questionable stories about him with teenage girls. So I am going to just save that one. But also R.I.P. Bob Uecker. Hilarious actor, fantastic baseball player. Dan, but I would want you to give it a try at least. No harm, no foul. I'm sorry. I don't know what? You should try everything. You should try everything and you should try to cook everything. But, don't bite off more than you could chew, pardon the pun. Start small, work your way up. I didn't try and cook a curry after like learning to make hamburgers, I actually had a friend who is English, and it's actually somebody who used to be in the band Taiketo, and I met him on the cruise and we started talking about Indian food, and he was telling me how he makes his own curry, and then he makes his own curry. He makes his own curry base, and then he makes his own curry, and then he sent me the recipes, and then he coached me through the whole process. I mean, I was like texting him. I'm like, wait, what is this? And then I was like calling. I'm like, wait, this happened. And, so I had a lot of help, and there have been other times when I've tried to cook challenging new things. And I have a longtime friend who's an actual classically trained chef, and another friend who's just really good at cooking. And I would just be texting them with like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, and get the advice that I need. So I encourage everybody to try everything, but get help when you can. Hi, Zach. How are you today? Brandon, 2025 is going to be the worst year ever if you exclude the year that Hiroshima and Nagasaki happened. Okay, calm down, drama queen. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine today. I was like, you know what? 2025 could ironically turn out to be, on a personal level, an excellent year, right? Because there are a lot of things I have control over in my life that I can make good. And I was telling him about you and how you need to learn, everybody needs to learn to what am I trying to get to? Let me go start over. We all need to learn the meditation principle of letting a thought in, acknowledging it, and pushing it away. So when you read something stupid like Trump wants to rename the Gulf Coast or the Gulf of Mexico. Okay. I acknowledge that happened. I push it away because A, it's probably not going to happen. B, it's not going to affect me if it does. And C, there ain't shit I can do about it. So if you start applying that concept to everything that you have no control over, you will probably find that your year might be a lot better than you thought it would be. And unless we actually drop a bomb on somebody, it's probably going to be better than, what was that, 1944 that we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima? I don't know. Thank you, Steve. Kevin, you don't live in Denver. You live in the Bay. You're visiting a buddy, so it works out while you're there. Oh, well, good on you. I'm going to be visiting a buddy in Vegas, and it's going to work out for me. Justine, you loved Euchre? Yeah. Samesies. Hey, Toad. What's up? Dan, you found a cookbook, The Food Stamp Gourmet, with some recipes that seem challenging that you would like to try out. I Google recipes like nonstop. I just Google them and I scroll and scroll and scroll. And I just look for stuff that makes sense to me. And, if I open it and it's like top with corn chips, nope. There you can start to tell what recipes are quality by the quality of their ingredients, and then you'll find some good stuff. And recipes online, of course, have like 7 paragraphs of instruction, right? It's like, here's how I learned about the recipe, and here's some things I learned making the recipe, and here's some techniques for the different areas of the recipe. You'll be surprised. Brandon, did I ever see Ice Nine Kills live? I missed them because I was late getting to the Phoenix show. No, wait. I missed them because they didn't play the Phoenix show because James got COVID. And then they were not on the tour in Seattle, right? I think that's why I missed them in Seattle. They weren't on the tour at that point. But I will finally see them in Santa Clara. It's funny because I think there's like a weird, it's like the universe doesn't want me to see Doc Coyle perform anymore because I tried to see Ice Nine Kills and missed them. And then I tried to see God Forbid and missed them. And I mean, I flew to San Diego to try and see God Forbid. And then there was like a problem with the list. And it took me until after their set was over to get in the venue. But I was like there while they were on. It was crazy. Brandon, you haven't been to a show since Chelsea Wolfe in 2018. Well, no wonder you're so obsessed with Trump. You need to get out more and do some real life shit, dude. Marlon, you've been rebuilding a 90-year-old Singer treadle sewing machine? Wow. I have one of those tables. Those tables are everywhere. Those, what is it, treadle? The little pedal? Yeah, I have one of those. The machine's lost, but it was my grandmother's. Yeah, those things are everywhere. They're cool. They still work, you know? They're just very slow. But they're faster than stitching. Dan, you like the illustrations in the cookbook? All right. You're not eating illustrations though, dude. So what you're going for is quality ingredients. Red, am I going to the Dark Angel show at the Go-Go at the end of the month? What's the Go-Go? Dark Angel? Do I have that on my calendar? I got to tap out here pretty soon. Where is the calendar? God, thanks for reminding me. I just agreed to something on February 3rd. What was it? Now I can't remember. I haven't written it down. Oh, I'm going to interview Randy Blythe. He just sent me his new book, and we're going to talk all about it, and it's going to be awesome. And he's doing a spoken word thing at the Independent in San Francisco on March 12th. Here's my calendar, and I am looking for Dark Angel. Let's see. Dark Angel. I'm not seeing it. And I don't know what the Go-Go is. Oh, wow. They're playing Maastricht, Netherlands. I've been there. Which is super random, but okay. Dark Angel. Oh my God. Why is it so hard to find the actual dates? They don't have a tour. They don't have a band page. They just have a Facebook. Derp, 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 derp. You can always count on Blabbermouth. Oh, no, I guess I can't. That is not a tour schedule. Damn it. I give up. Did you answer my question? Steve, the Elvis Presley sandwich, the fried bananas and peanut butter, I have. And you know what's funny about that is I didn't do it on purpose. I mean, I kind of did, but it was actually one of the hors d'oeuvres that they served at a Bill Graham Presents Christmas party back in the way back when we still had the budget for a Bill Graham Christmas party. We used to have some epic Christmas parties at Bill Graham Presents. Like Bill Graham Presents would literally take over the entire Warfield and invite the entire staff and have, you know, bands like Tower of Power play and have like circus acrobats and have like garage bands play in the basement and set up all the dressing rooms as like different crazy fun hang rooms and have like food everywhere and drinks and open bars, and like everybody would be like smoking joints, and it was crazy cool. And one of those things that they had in the hors d'oeuvres was the Elvis sandwich, and I tried it. It's all right. It's not bad. The best part about it is that it's basically like grilled, right? So it's the peanut butter and the bananas, warm and then toasty grilled bread, which I mean, delicious. Red fly, sorry, whiskey. Whiskey. What? Brad, what are the diamonds after the names? I have no idea. I don't see any diamonds. Oh, the go-go is the whiskey a go-go. Oh no. God, no. I almost never go to LA for shows, and I'm only considering going to Michael Monroe because Michael Monroe never plays anymore. And when he does, he never comes to San Francisco. I don't think I've seen him in San Francisco since like 2008, 7, 9, somewhere in there. So yeah, and I'm not a crazy huge Dark Angel fan, whereas Michael Monroe is a lovely person who I've met through the Monsters of Rock cruise, and his guitar player Steve Conti is somebody that I met ages ago when he was in the New York Dolls. So I have kind of more of a connection with wanting to go see them than Dark Angel, who I don't know anybody in the band except, wait, is Gene in Dark Angel again? Maybe I do. Dan, you had that on a bagel. Good on you, bro. Dan wants a scratch and sniff cookbook. Brad, sorry, bro. I have to tap out. It's like 6:15. I have so much shit to do. And I actually have to go help a friend out decorate a club tonight because the Q Bar has reopened in the Castro, and I used to work the door there, and my bestie is one of the owners, and Q Bar closed after a fire in 2019 and suffered the whole pandemic and finally reopened late last year, and I have yet to see it since it reopened and has been completely remodeled. So I'm the asshole right now until I go see it, which I have to go do tonight because I promised I would. Any new Nikki and Steve podcast? As a matter of fact, Justine, there is. We are going to drop it on Tuesday because of the holiday weekend coming up. But Steve and I had a long chat yesterday. So we will, Tuesday morning. Well, Tuesday definitely, but hopefully Tuesday morning. You'll get a new episode of The Black Room. And if anybody wants to catch up on the podcast version of The Black Room, you can get it anywhere you get podcasts. Just title search The Black Room and look for the blue logo. That one's ours. Or you can find it at 1077thebone.com. Or you can watch the episodes that are the more recent ones that we've been doing video on my YouTube page. Good night, Steve. Hey, Andrew. Thanks for tapping in. Sorry, I'm tapping out. They're playing the 29th at the Whiskey. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't have the energy for that right now. I just booked a flight to see Carrie King. And I think I'm in San Diego that weekend, or not the 29th. No, I'm in San Diego on the 25th. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I have to be here in the studio weekdays. So the 29th is not a weekend. I can only fly on weekends. Kartik, you're back after cooking some noodles. Good on you. Dark Angel rules. Jim Durkin died of a rare illness not too long ago, sadly. Yeah. I mean, I know they're great. They're just not in my collection of bands that I travel for I'll go see them if they're around, but I'm not going out of my way to see them, if that makes sense. I like them. I just don't like them that much. Brandon, what's my opinion on coffee roasts? Like, which one is the most healthy in terms of the antioxidant profile? Oh, I don't think there's a significant change in the antioxidant profile of coffee by roast, is there? I mean, with coffees, I think you mostly want fair trades and quality growers. My favorite coffee is Kaladi Brothers. It's Kaladi, and they're a roastery in Alaska. And if you order 2 pounds at a time, they ship for free. But there's a lot of great places where you can get great coffee. I tried the Punk Bunny coffee. Green Day's coffee is really good. So yeah, I guess that's my opinion. John, you wish Lamb of God would play here? Same Z's. Andrew, what is Metalhead? Teach me. I would like to learn, please. You want to learn what a Metalhead is on a live stream from a Metalhead? Listen to metal. Period. That's it. That's a Metalhead. Listen to metal. Done. I mean, you have to like it. It helps if you go to shows, but John, oh yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for looking it up. I'm definitely not going to the whiskey to see Dark Angel. Dan, you like dehydrating fruit in your air fryer? Cool. I got to stop reading your comments, dude. They're too random. John, feedings, Sid, Frit. Okay, I don't know what that is either. Oh, Christina's in Dark Angel now too. Okay, this is starting to come back to me. I think they already came through here and I missed it because I was out of town that week. Or they played someplace where I was or was trying to be. I did try to catch that with Jean and Christine, but I missed it. I think it was here. I want to say it was, I want to say it was here and I missed it. I do have some vague recollection of that. Thanks, Red. Have a great night. Michelle, you love Q-Bar? You went after the DA Christmas show in the remodel's great. See, you've been before I have. Shh. Don't tell Sip. He's going to be like, see, I told you, because he did. Hi, Nick. Good to see you. Yep, Black Room is back, baby. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, Justine. Yeah, we'll have fun decorating. We have fun no matter what we do, whenever we're together. Hey, Nick. I have talked to Lamont and Tinelli. I talked to Tinelli at the second to last 49er home game, and I talked to Lamont last week. Death Wish is your favorite coffee? I tried Death Wish. It seemed a little too burnt for me. Like they were just trying too hard to make it really tough. Andrew, my favorite metal band? Probably a toss-up between Metallica and Slayer. I mean, I'm a Bay Area thrash kid. So those were the two bands that I really grew up kind of idolizing. They were the biggest metal bands in like 84, 85 when I really started getting into metal as a kid. Had any Thanksgiving coffee? I didn't know there was such a thing. Cardiac Hellfire is a great band from the Bay Area. Wonderful dudes. You want to try their beer? Oh, yeah. Sorry. You said Hellfire, but my head went to Hell Hunter. Anyway. No, Nick, Lamont is back. Tinelli is not back. Chastain Baby Huey never left. John, you were saying hello to two other people watching. Oh, I see now. Yep. Justine is right. It's the Lamont show. Brandon, does Joe Rogan actually believe his BS, or is it mostly just a grift for him at this point? I think it started out as a grift for him, but I think eventually he started to believe his own hype. I mean, he does smoke a lot of weed, and he is a middle-aged white man. I think he's starting to believe his own bullshit. Everyone likes the smell of their own brand. All right. No, Nick, they didn't announce their retirement. They announced the end of the show. Two different things. Retirement is by choice. The end of the show was not. But for brains. Aw, I'm so sorry you showed up to troll me right when I was leaving, but sorry, dude. Show up earlier if you want to troll. Yeah, Justine, I gotta go. I'm thirsty and tired, and I've got a bunch of shit to do. But thanks guys for coming in, and I hope everybody enjoyed the Exodus scoop. And oh, Thanksgiving is a name of a coffee company based in Fort Bragg. All right, I'll have to check it out. But yeah, have a good night, guys. And tomorrow's Friday, huh? So I won't be able to tap in tomorrow. We have way too much to do, and Monday's a holiday. So I'll see you on Tuesday, and you can tell me what you think of the new Black Room podcast. Cool. Have a great weekend, everybody.